Hey guys, welcome to my video. It's TheXploder here. Hope you're all doing well. You know when you're just having those days where you're just a bit meh? You know, like, you don't really feel like doing much. On top of that, your mood is just very that. Like, you don't feel terrible and you don't necessarily feel insano happy. You're kind of like in that limbo state of being somewhat you know, like you're definitely in that middle region and you're nowhere below, but you're definitely nowhere higher. You know, I'm definitely in one of those mindsets today, but I'm not gonna try and let that get the best of me, because in today's vlog, I'm gonna bring a story forward. And this story is a pretty serious one and a little bit deep and personal for me. So if you prefer the happy-go-lucky, jolly domo, you may not enjoy this video as much as you may enjoy the others. But if you are curious and you're willing to hear a tale from a random guy on the internet, sit back, relax, grab yourself a drink or anything. I would go to grab my drink, but apparently I forgot to bring it upstairs with me. Typical! And let's go for a ride. So to put into perspective of this story first, this story is based around what happened to me when I was in middle school. Now, put into perspective here, when I was going to school in here, being in the UK, we have a system where you have 3 different levels of school. So you have lower school, middle school, and then upper school, with all the education that comes with it. So obviously lower school is when you first start off and you're there for the first 4 years. Middle school, you're there from your 5th year of education all the way up to 8th. And then you have upper school, where you're there from 9th year of education to at least your 11th year, with the option of staying on for an extra 2 years in what we call sixth form, which I have my own stories about, so I'm sure I'll bring that out in the future. So to put that into perspective, this is where I'm in middle school. This is like the not so childish, gradually learning more stuff portion of my life. And middle school for me was literally living hell territory. So first things first, there were 2 schools I had my eyes on. One of them being called Newnham Middle School, which is now, I believe, called Newnham Academy. Don't know why. And Goldington Middle School, which is also called Goldington Academy. Everything's turning into academies now. I don't know, I kinda don't like that. But yes, I was stuck between these 2 schools. My sister was going to Goldington, and because of that, there was that whole sister-brotherly rivalry thing where you're like, I don't want to go where she's going. She's my sister, get the cooties. You know, you're like at that childish stage of your life. And because my parents were very much up to the task of allowing me to choose for myself, I said to them, after visiting both schools when they had their big open days, I wanted to go to Newnham. I generally thought I would enjoy myself better. I knew some of my closest mates at the time were going over there, and genuinely everything was looking to be really, really good. Then we start going into the problems. So academically, I wouldn't say the school was bad for me in that way, because I did pretty much nail every single subject I studied in. From English, for sciences, maths. I think the only one I really struggled in was French, but I've always found it really hard to learn other languages. And if anything else, now I'm actually more catered to Spanish, thanks to Dora the Explorer of all things. But again, another story for another day. Yes, everything, like, academically wise was going great. Everything personal wise was not. You see, every single day I was in that middle school, I swear to God, I would come home with either bad words being said about me, being called names left, right and centre, and that's for low stuff, all the way from having to go home with bruises all over my body, like Chinese burns on your arm, like massive, and I mean massive, like smack marks all over your claw marks, where you've been properly beaten up, and all that jazz all over me. And I've had to go home and basically explain to my parents, oh, I just fell down a flight of stairs, I bumped into a wall, I did this, that and the other. Yeah, I was not in the mood to tell anyone that I was actually going through 4 years of bullying hell. And I'm gonna just let this out there for you guys now. I went through 4 years of possibly the worst 4 years I could have had at that stage of my life. Of course, I got bullied to the extent where sometimes I would come home and, as I said, have to explain to my parents that, oh, I just fell down a flight of stairs, when in fact I got properly beaten up by some of the biggest and most douchey bag of people. I guess so. Out of the school. I don't know why I call them a bag of people. Maybe because we all carried bags and they just had a bag of ugh with them all the time. I don't know. But needless to say, going through that was hell. Did that mean I didn't make friends? No, I had a very close-knit group of friends. Some of them I did keep from lower school going into middle school. Others, upon reaching middle school, decided to go full douchebag. And you know, you're at that age where you're developing a little bit more. You're starting to realize like what you want friendship wise, you know, what you want mate wise, what you want to get up to, this, that and the other. Like you're starting to realize, are you more of a nerdy guy, sporty guy, balanced in betweeny guy, you know. And I was very much more of a nerdy guy because I was playing video games, I was topping classes left, right and centre. I was writing poetry left, right and centre, which carries on to me being a writer and an avid writer for video games, which, again, another story for another day. And I was very much on that side of things, whilst some of my mates that came up were very much the sporty guys. They're into their footballs, their rugbies, their crickets, their hockeys, anything and everything you can imagine that was sports-wise, they were going mental about it. I had no problem with this, and if anything, I was there to encourage them and be like, yeah! Like supporting them at the stands and all that jazz. But they never thought to return that favour. And as a friend turning into full douchebag, they suddenly started to become part of the problem and part of a bullying problem. Especially when they, alongside their parents, claim you to be scum. And this is something I generally haven't told a lot of people out there. There was a stage in middle school where literally I went walking out with one of my mates. I walked past a mum and a dad of one of my mates from lower school that I knew. I waved to them and said hi to them. Because at that age I thought to myself, I know these guys. I want to say hello, you know. I still tried to stay as perky as I possibly could. How they responded was more along the lines of, go away, you scum. It wasn't of those words in particular, because as I've grown older, memory's a little bit fuzzy. I remember walking past them and saying the hello and them saying something bad. I don't remember quite what that bad level was, but they said something, let's put it that way. And that just left an impression on me saying, wow, he doesn't like me because I'm like the more of a nerdy guy. But apparently his parents don't like me because I'm a nerdy guy, and apparently a bad influence on him because I do well in school? I'm sorry, I'd rather do well in school and have a really close, tight group of friends that I know aren't gonna backstab me than just be a jock, an absolute failure when it comes to academics, and then be praised by your parents because you can kick a ball. Well done. Now if you can kick a ball like Ronaldo and actually get paid millions just to do that, then I can start praising you. And even then I'll still look at your GCSEs and realise, oh, look at all those D's you've got. And look what I got. These nuts. Got him. Oh, okay, that was terrible. I'm sorry. I was not expecting this segue into something that bad. But there you go. I have to keep it cheery somehow, you know. But this is a bit of a weird vlog. I'm bouncing here, there and everywhere. The main gist is, I wanted to basically show a mini side of the story of me going through the 4 years of hell. I made it seem very light on the content because some of the stuff that did happen I won't go too in depth. Unless you guys are generally interested. If you are interested, let me know and I'll make another video about it and I'll gladly talk about it again. Because I don't mind. I like to say that if I didn't go through that, I wouldn't have become the person I am now. Which is kind of cool to that regard, but also a shame that I went through that hell anyway. And if anyone out there is watching this video that is going through bullying or has gone through a really bad time of bullying, I have some advice for you. Genuinely, and I mean this. Tell your parents. Tell someone you can trust and get this out of your system. For me, I've only just recently opened up to my parents, letting them know that I went through that 4 years of hell. And this is bearing in mind, I went to the teachers of that school to let it all out and to let them know that I'm being bullied. What did those teachers say to me? The teachers themselves said that I was to blame for myself being bullied because I'm leading the bullies on. I'm not lying. That is exactly what the teachers said, and I'm livid. I can't trust teachers anymore, no matter how good your anti-bullying campaign is in your school. Hell, if you know a teacher that you know you can definitely trust with this stuff, talk to them about it. If push comes to shove though, talk to your parents and get your parents involved with the school to help you the hell out. I cannot enforce that enough. The fact I kept it contained for so long almost killed me through middle school, and there's a story that I have about year 11 and sixth form prom, which I will bring up in the future, where it literally almost killed me. So yeah, that's fun, but I don't want to leave this on a bad note. So I'm going to leave this with something joyous, and the joyous side is that I am working very closely on getting everything set up for the Pokemon charity live streams, which are coming in September. Now, I still don't have a firm week of when I'm going to be doing this yet, but as soon as I have those details, I will be sharing it with you guys in a proper full-length video, so you don't have to worry about catching the end of these and just so happen to be told, "Hey, he's doing a thing!" Yeah. Needless to say, I hope you have enjoyed the video. It's a mini story into my life. If you want to know more life stories, I'm more than happy to share them. Just let me know in the comments below, or even share some of your life stories. I'm generally interested, because we all have different stories in our lives, and you know what? Some of them are good, some of them are bad. This is more of a bad one. I'll probably balance it out with a good one next time. So until then, guys, have a very good day, afternoon, evening, whenever, wherever it may be you are. Stay explosive. See you guys next time.